Hey guys, how you going? Alright, moving on to the next fact. Alright, next fact. You can't see them, they're outside of our visual spectrum. So what I mean by this is you will not, generally on a day-to-day basis, you will not see them with your naked eye. Yes, they have the ability and means and capabilities of being able to manifest themselves or present themselves to you in certain forms or in certain ways or fashions. But generally you will not see them with the naked eye. I've come to a couple of conclusions in regards to this. I'll go into more detail further on in other videos, but I'll just give you a quick example of my thoughts in regards to this sort of being outside of our visual spectrum. For one, they could quite possibly be spiritual beings, which in turn would basically mean, yes, they are invisible to us. We cannot see them with the naked eye. Maybe with special equipment and cameras and things like that, we may very well be able to. Secondly, they could quite possibly be interdimensional beings, which pretty much would mean, yes, they would be invisible to us, to our naked eye, to our spectrum of vision, because they are able to pass through layers of reality or layers of dimensions that we aren't ready to conceive yet or capable of actually seeing through to view the real life form itself. Thirdly, they could quite possibly be a physical life form that is here on Earth, and they actually have a natural talent or a means and a capability of being able to cloak themselves so we cannot see them. Or quite possibly they could be using very highly advanced technology, emphasis on highly advanced. I know for sure and for a fact 100% they use technology at an extremely advanced level. I'm not talking the latest Microsoft computer. That's a tinker toy to these life forms. I'm talking very, very advanced technology. They could very well be using this as a means to cloak themselves too. So that's just a couple of possibilities and some thoughts that I've come to the conclusions of in regards to not being able to see them. Alright, moving on to the next fact. Next fact. They'll make threats to harm and kill you. They have made many threats. They do fairly regularly, I wouldn't say on a daily basis, but very regularly they do make threats to basically kill me. They want me dead. They've pretty much said to me, through hosted people, also in my astral, in my sleep, in my dream state, they've basically said, you know too much, we need you dead. So basically they want me dead. Basically the reason they want me dead is I know too much. Their view on me is basically dead men cannot give up their secrets. So by me being terminated, killed, it basically stops me doing what I'm doing now with you all and sharing what I've learned about them. They do not want this. They want me dead, basically. So it's something, that they, if you're aware of them or do encounter them, they will make threats to kill or harm you. Just know that, the good guys, they're watching over you. They're watching over you, and I feel personally that's the reason they haven't succeeded in terminating me, is simply because the good guys are watching out for me. They've got my back. They've had my back from day dot. They've been around since my birth, and they've protected me the whole time. Alright, moving on. Alright, next fact. If you are aware of them and do not kneel to them, they will try to make your life very difficult at home, work, and around friends and family. So what I mean by this is when I first encountered these Archons, these life forms, these negative entities, they basically wanted me to kneel to them, to kneel before them, like, oh, you're my master, you're the greatest, I'll do whatever you want, whatever you say. I could not bring myself to do it. I still can't to this day. I cannot bring myself to kneel to them. I refuse. I cannot do it. I would much rather die than kneel before them. And I've got to be honest, this aggravates them. It aggravates them quite a lot. So if you do find yourself encountering them and you do not kneel, then yes, they're gonna try and make your life very difficult. Ways they can do that is basically they can host your boss at work and get your boss boss to really drill you and ride you and do the crappiest jobs that are there available. They'll pick on you that way. Family members, they'll get family members to be nasty to you and not talk to you anymore and sort of, pretty much just shun you off, treat you like the black sheep of the family, so to speak. So too with friends. They can get friends to pretty much not talk to you anymore, no longer want to be your friend. All these short examples I've just explained to you now, I've personally experienced and been through. They've done it to me, and I know it's, well within their means and capabilities. So they may very well do these things to you if you do not kneel to them. So just be aware that, if you don't kneel to them, that you may very well have some tough roads ahead, but just know that the good guys, they're the only true friends you really need, and they will not judge you, and they'll stand by you 100%. They're the best friends I could have ever had, and it's a pleasure to have them around. And in regards to any other friends, I personally don't need them. I've got the best friends I could ever have. Alright, moving on. Next fact. They may reward you with certain privileges, money, assets, physical and worldly pleasures, but will take it all from you if you disobey their rule. So basically, if you do encounter them and you do submit to them, you do kneel before them, they may grant some or show some favour towards you. So yes, they can reward you with certain things. They can't physically show up and hand you a wad of cash, so to speak. But what they can do is they can host the bosses or the hierarchy at your work and get you promoted. They can host the bosses and people at work and get you to do the easier jobs, the less menial tasks, the more exciting, more fun things or tasks that are available at your workplace. They can slot you in to do these sorts of things. Just the nicer things, the better things to do at your job. So instead of sweeping the floor, they could have you, just going around and doing photocopying or something like that, or just there's lots of different scenarios and means I could explain in regards to that, but I'm sure you understand what I mean by this. They can just say you know a very attractive woman that you find highly attractive and you'd like to be in a relationship with, and she doesn't see you in that way, she just wants to be a friend. They can actually convince her, get inside her mind and convince her to find you sexually attractive, and bang, she will then become your partner. They can, another example, if you're into drugs and things like that, they can bring about new people to enter your life, new people that contacts drug dealers, things like that have got really good drugs or a big supply of drugs and parties and things like that. They can bring about all these things, in your life. But if you do disobey their rule, they will strip it all from you. So basically, that promotion you've got at work, bang, demoted. That hot girl that you've always longed for that you've got, that hot girl now has just left your ass. And those friends of yours, those drug dealing friends with great drugs and all that, have now landed you in prison. This is things they can do to basically build you up or destroy you. They can strip it all from you. If they can help you gain money, assets, things like that, yes, they can. They can go about doing things that will enable you to do that. But if you disobey their rule, then bang, they will strip it all from you. You'll incur massive debts, big fines, financial losses, things like that. They are very capable of doing to you. So it's just something to be aware of. All right, next fact. Do not, I repeat, do not take them lightly or provoke and disrespect them unless you have a very good understanding of their means, powers, talents and capabilities. If you do, they will make you pay and you won't even realise that it's them. So what I mean by this, to elaborate a bit further, is basically, I personally don't agree with how they go about their things, their business, and I find them quite rude and arrogant. But the complete opposite spectrum of who I am as a person. But I've got to be honest, I do have a healthier amount of respect for them, because they're capable of some truly amazing stuff. I have to be honest. I don't agree with the way they go about their business or their agenda, but you do have to have a certain amount of respect for them. If you show any disrespect towards them or any sort of foul language or attitude or anything in regards to them that they do not like, then, you know, they can pretty much, they can cause a lot of problems. They can cause you a lot of problems in your life. If you're unaware of them, so just say you don't even know about them, then yes, people, you can even, if you think negative things about it, they will know, they can read your mind. But getting back to what I was just saying, if you're unaware of them and you've never seen them, understand, or even you don't even notice them, then yes, they will allow you to say negative things, because for the sake of keeping their secrecy, they'll sit back and laugh quietly and cause trouble in your life. So you could see a video online and see the Archons, and excuse the language here, go, fuck the Archons, that sort of attitude. If you don't know about them, then they'll sit back and go, yeah, okay. But then bang, cause certain scenarios and dramas and problems and chaos in your life, and you don't even realise that it's them. They will allow you to show disrespect in regards to them for the sake of keeping their secrecy. But once you're aware of them and show any signs of disrespect, then that is a very different ball game. I've got to be honest. I myself, I'm in that position now that I am aware of them. If you know, to a certain degree, I can show some certain disrespect to them, only because I'm aware and I know what their capabilities and means are. But you know, if you do show any disrespect to them, then yes, they will retaliate. They will retaliate. Just know this. So please be warned, if you know you show any disrespect towards them, they will do something to punish you, and you may very well not even notice. So it's probably best, it's perfectly fine if you don't agree with the way they go about things and all that, but unless you understand, have a very good grounded understanding of what they can do, I highly advise you do not show any signs of disrespect towards them. No thoughts of disrespect, no verbal actions of disrespect in regards to them, because it will not go unnoticed, and they will retaliate. They will retaliate. Not to be scared though, good guys will be watching over you. I just needed to tell you this. Alright, moving on to the next fact. Alright, next fact. They control all positions of power on Earth, people and authority figures. Pretty much, they control everything, people. They control everything. They control all the big corporations. They've manipulated and infiltrated all corporations, all forms of government or affiliated bodies. They control the military, they control the money system, they control it all. They control everything. When you see about all these hidden controllers and things like that on the internet, conspiracy theories and all that, the hidden controllers are the Archons. They control it all. Basically, that's why they are the hidden controllers, because they don't want themselves to be noticed or recognised. But they're the ones at the very top, pulling the strings. While we're all fighting amongst ourselves and bitching against, it's the government, it's that person that's, you know, the Prime Minister, the President, the person in charge of your local council or local government, while you're too busy bickering about that person, what you don't realise is that person is just a puppet for the Archons. So they are the hidden controllers, the secret hidden controllers that control it all. They control every aspect of all our lives. They control the banks, they control governments, they control schooling system, they control, you know, pretty much everything that is on Earth. Everything that is on Earth. Any governing body or position of authority, like presidents, prime ministers, like I said previously, they control them all. Now, some of these people may very well know about the Archons and actually work for their agenda, and that's why they've got into the positions they're in. Others may simply just be, you know, hosted or being manipulated by the Archons and are completely unaware that they are being manipulated and controlled in such a fashion. But I guarantee you, people, they control everything. Everything in the world they control. That's why they're the invisible controllers. They act through the people that they will manipulate into certain positions of power in the world, and basically use them as puppets to filter down the control to all the people, to you, to me, all of us. Another thing too I would add is the Illuminati. People look and go, the Illuminati and that. People are too busy focused on the Illuminati and the secret societies and all that. They're just people. The people that are in the Illuminati and that, they're just people. it's the Archons attached to them that are the true controllers. So while we're too busy bickering about, oh, this guy Bill's in the Illuminati and Joe's a Mason and things like that, yes, they may very well be a part of these secret societies, but it's not that person, it's the entity attached to them. And that's why you see all these Mason videos and that, where they're doing ceremonies and things like that. That's them actually attaching more entities to members. So they control the Illuminati, they control it all. Every secret society, government affiliated body, presidential person, prime ministers, all the people that are in control, the CEOs, the chairmen of big corporations and companies, they have infiltrated and have taken over. Governments, military, all these secret bases and things like that, they control it all. They control it all, people. So it's just something to be aware of and, keep an eye out for. All right, moving on to the next fact. All right, next fact. It is not in their interest for all humans to be wiped out, extinct. They need us. Many will be culled, but not all. So what I mean by this is it's not in their best interest to wipe out all of us on the face of this earth. It's not in their best interest. If they wipe us all out, if there's a war that takes out the face of this planet, that is not in their best interest. They need us. We are energetic cattle. We're energetic food to them. The best example I can give to you in regards to our relationship with the Archons is picture a farmer scenario. So you have a farmer, the Archons. You have the farmers like livestock, the cattle, us. Now the farmer will make a certain allowance for some to be culled, others to be taken by wild dogs or fall into ditches or get caught up in fences and things like that. The farmer, yes, will make allowances for those things to happen, but it is not in the farmer's best interest to wipe out all his stock. That does not serve his purpose. That is the best example I can give you of the relationship in regards to us and the Archons. We are a necessary part of them. So if they wipe us out, they've wiped out their control, they've wiped out their energetic food source. So it's all this fear-mongering you see online, the world's going to end, we're all going to be wiped out and stuff like that. That is just being used as a fear-mongering tactic to generate more negative energy, energetic food. So wars and things like that, yes, they create. Basically all the big wars that have happened in the world and all that, people think, oh, it's about economics and money and this and that. They control all the money. They don't need to generate more money. If they want more money, they'll just press it out. They'll print money out. They'll create money. It's well within their means and capabilities. The reason wars and that are created is because wars will actually generate more negative energy, more negative food. So the people who actually die in the wars and things like that, they die in terrifying, horrific circumstances, in aggressive, angry states, sort of war states, and so the energy they give off during these wars is basically considered an excellent energetic food source for the Archons. Also too, with the casualties and people that have lost their lives through wars, which they have created, a byproduct of this is the friends and families, the loved ones of the people who have lost their lives or have been injured or hurt during wars and things like that. You see a lot of people that come back with post-traumatic stress syndrome and things like that after war. So these people will go to war, give off negative energy, and then for the rest of their life, they've got these traumas that will still carry on within them, deep-seated traumas that will give off negative energy for the rest of that person's life. All these things are byproducts from the initial war that they've created. They create the wars, people. I know this sounds crazy, but it is a harsh reality. They will create wars to generate more energetic food, but they will not let the wars get to a point where the face of humanity is wiped out. It's not in their best interest to do so. So it's just something to be aware of. Alright, I'll wrap this video up here for now, and if you'd like to learn more, please follow on to the next video, and thank you very much for your time.